According to the information available on social media, that there will be a second coming of the hashtag NSAS protest in Lagos State. We are going to look at the three things that may happen if eventually the NSAS protest again resurface in the nation's commercial capital. The last protest in the state was marred by untold violence, and people and government are still counting their losses. The information posted on Twitter by Omoyele Shiwore disclosed that the hashtag NSAS protest will resume in Lagos on Saturday. According to him, the converging point will be Allen Junction on Saturday, 7th of November. If the protest should resume in Lagos according to this notice, here are three things that could happen across the state. First, Nigeria may resist it. This is because the just concluded protests in Nigeria, especially in Lagos, caused a lot of economic problems for the people. If the protest should come again when people have not recovered from the last one, the people may grow impatient and resist or shun the protest. Secondly, the government may resist it. Recall that the government said that some people thought that they were weak by attending to the needs of the protesters, but they sent message back to the people that it is not a matter of weakness. So if protests should start the second time, I think the government may just do something about it to stop or resist the protest. And thirdly, what could happen is that it could lead to more violence. Recall that the first protest, which started on a peaceful manner, turned violence after some hoodlums hijacked the protest. If Lagosians should go back to the streets, it may lead to more violence. Or do you think? Do you think that could all of these points could possibly happen? Of course, that was what when we look it from the angle of the government said, according to Buhari, not even the government, of course, it's the government, but we have to specify it clearly. He said he is not a sign of a weakness because they attended to all the demands, which I invariably, if really attended to all those demands, they would they wouldn't have been protest. The protest wouldn't have prolonged the way it went, and more so because the government knew quite all right that the people were ready to demand for good governance, and that is exactly what they are trying to run away from. But of course, some people are very strong, some people are very bold, some people are gullible, some people honestly might not even know what they want. Some people, because of this fear and intimidations, all this why, has made a lot of people not to even be interested in most of these protests. And again, it does not really depend, or it does not really end on protest. Do you know another thing that the government is really jittery about is still this issue of a social media, because a lot of their secrets are being exposed. You can imagine somebody was trying to make up an argument that the information given by the international Amnesty International, based on the information of how the Nigeria army, how they left their base to that protest ground on that day. Initially they were denying it and all of that, and they were trying to call for the head of a DJ Switch, that she was airing fake news. At the end of the day, you can just imagine the same government who has been lying upon, lies upon lies, telling lies upon lies, things that are really visible to the people. And unfortunately, a lot of gullible people, or let's say those who they have paid to even come on social media. Like Mohammed has been on this, social media must be regulated, this and this and that. And believe you me, they themselves, they've already sent out some people, they call them keyboard warriors. Anybody who is coming to be talking, even when you are saying the reality, they will try to counter it. But in the recent, I see no reason why they are going to be afraid of social media. And when they were calling for the head of a DJ Switch, that she was the one who misled the people, initially you said you were not there. The Nigerian army said they were not there. Later you said, oh, you were there on the directive of the Lagos state government. The governor was denying that. Where does that live on? But somebody was making an argument that Amnesty International was trying to give some kind of information. Of course, if the information were really right, because at that point in time, the Nigerian army could not even debunk or deny totally that they were not there. A lot of conflicting statements, even from their own. So what do we call that? You are talking about social media deregulation or regulation, and you are giving information from your own end, lies upon lies. Would So who is not talking about, who is not lying, who is giving a fake information because you denied it? And what I'm even trying to say is that some people have the opinion that why would the Amnesty International be monitoring our security and all of that? And today we heard from some people that you don't even need. Red Omokri was talking about the satellite that it's already there, and somebody is even asking that even if you are going to regulate social media, are you going to regulate the airspace? It's not going to happen. And that is area which our the so-called government, they don't care about. They always love to have that title, but ability to be able to do the right thing, they can't do it. The job description, they can't do it. It's just all about title. And they are forgetting that there is a this thing up there. Any country can get anybody. And that was where they said this Amnesty International got to know when these people, the soldiers of the army, they left their base before going to, as at when they left the base, their barracks, and the time they got to the Lekki toll gate ground where the protest was going on there. We saw they were telling them. So some people have the opinion, oh yes, so even as much where we know that these guys are going to be giving us some kind of information, we are not disputing that, but the ability or the rate at which they are monitoring our airspace, they are monitoring our security, this and this and that. And somebody, an expert, security expert, came out. I heard man on radio said, forget all those things. These things are there. These people do not even need. If you are intelligent, you'll be able to get the intelligence gathering. But what we have here, the only thing most of these our leaders, let's just say, because some of them might even have what it takes to get this country to where it ought to, but they might not be given chance, they might not be given that opportunity. So we still give respect to some people, because but majority of those who always tend to come to the front line to say yes, they are leaders, they know nothing. The only thing they know is just to on how to see, to pad, to make a lot of things that will benefit them, not for the people. To do the bidding of the people is not in their agenda. So it will be very difficult for them to know that there are some evil information out there, even that is above your security space. So some people are like, oh, Amnesty International, they are trying to monitor our whatever. Everybody is being monitored. Nigeria, everywhere. The world is a global village if you want to get whatever you want to get. So I'm just trying to digress, just to let people know some of the things that are really happening. Those who are clamoring, oh, they want to regulate this, they want to regulate this. To me, fake news has already been there right from time immemorial. If you some people think that they will be giving false information, you say you will counter them. Fake news does not last, and that's why you need to be on top of the game. As people are bringing information, you quickly tackle them, and and that is it. And those who are always giving fake information or news, they will lose credibility. But we know that it goes beyond this fake news they're talking about. But because they don't want their atrocities to be revealed, and unfortunately, majority of them is only money, 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 money to oppress others. So this idea, and these are the things that they've already instilled unknowingly to the masses themselves. And that's why you see it took a long time for people to even come out to say yes, we want to really protest. And that is exactly what they have already succeeded in doing, because they knew at that particular time that these so-called asas protesters, they were going somewhere to demand for good governance. And that was how they did all manner of things. Of course, some people will tell you, you have to be politically correct to say some things, so that it won't be as if a one thing. But everybody knows what they know. We all know what they know. If really it is a government that is sincere, that wants to do the right thing, of course all of this they always talk about a hoodlums hijacking. For what? Is it not shameful? And no wonder some of the governors, the northern governors, they came out to say yes, we don't want a answers, or we want a social media to be regulated, this and that. And Shehu Sani came up to them and stand to them. The devices happening in your area, you are not standing to say no, we must end this thing. But because they are all beneficiaries of what is happening there, they are all smiling to the banks. So of course these are the things that they've already put in place, so that even to people themselves, they will be able to go against each other. Me, I don't want to go. See what happened the other day. I don't want to allow this and this and that, all of this and that, because the government has not been doing what it ought to do. That is why we are having problems. I see no reason why protests will be will be what the government will be afraid of. What are you afraid of? Those things that ordinarily you should have done, you are not doing it, and you are not ready to do it, and that's why you are jittery. You are afraid all over the place. Of course, these are the narratives they want to send out. But even if you want to, there are ways you must calm people, and you must show that you are sincere. But a government that has already been lying that they didn't do this, they didn't do this, and they are conflicting themselves, you think you can just quickly come and just try to intimidate, because that has been the norm. That has been the way they've been doing things, just to be able to intimidate. Oh, and it was a message they passed for doing what he did at that Lekki, so that every other person will have to rethink. But don't think you are going to get away with it. You can do a manner of things, but people know what they know, and they believe what they believe, and they know what you are trying to do. Everybody knows. So, of course, people might tend not to want to come out. People will be skeptical, but you might not know. But these are the narratives that are already there that can really make people not to want to say, okay, these are the things that could really happen. But with all of the things that are happening, they went to go and switch off the CCTV. They did all manner of things. They didn't know that there are other this thing up there. No wonder this guy was saying it. Oh, the Renomokri. They said, let him go and sit down. Which this thing are you talking about? They are the ones that have set up the judicial panel. At the end of the day, what do you think that will come out of the whole thing? But let's wait and see. But let us watch and see how the whole thing will turn out to be. If you do not do the right thing, if the government fails to do the right thing, you cannot even eat your cake and have it. That which you are running from will meet you, and it will catch up with you, and it will overtake you. So guys, that is just my own opinion concerning what this writer has said, that 3 things that could possibly happen if the NSAS protest continues. Leave your comment below respectfully, and let us have your take. Thank you.